hyphen intercept slope-intercept equations. Little do you know that you've been doing this one here. I'll even pull it up. On yesterday's assignment, lesson 55, they gave you this problem. They said graph y equals 4/5 x minus 2. Anybody remember that problem? Okay. This little bad boy right here, when you've got two variables, usually we use x and y for these things, okay, we call that a linear equation. Why do you suppose we call that a linear equation? Take the words apart, please, for me. What does the word linear sound like? Line. This is an equation that when you graph it, you get a line. I think that was even the answer for it there. Linear equations give you lines on coordinate systems. Okay? And one form of it, when it is solved for y, is called the slope-intercept form. Okay. Slope-intercept form. Now, as long as I have it solved for y and there's an x term here, it's in slope-intercept form. Let me give you some other examples you could have. Y equals 2x minus 3. Y equals 1/2 x plus 1. See the y by itself, an equal sign, an x, and then a number. Okay? It could be y equals 7x. Why would that still be a linear equation with slope-intercept form? Because what could you always do? You could always go, oh, plus 0. Okay? Now, we have what we call the generic form of this. Okay? And here you're going to write this in big, bold letters because you will see this bazillions of times in your mathematical careers. Because believe it or not, when you go to high school, I believe you have to take 4 years of math, or at least 3 of them. So, you are just at the tip of the iceberg of your mathematical career to write this down. And you can decorate it however you want. It'll make a nice little science/art project. Y equals m x plus b. Y equals m x plus b. And what I like to say is that is the generic form of slope-intercept. Okay, the generic form of the slope-intercept equation. That's what math people use just as the generic thing. It's not. This is not going to give you a line because there's no numbers there. Okay, you have to fill in the numbers or they'll give you the numbers. So if that's the case, take a look, see in here. I've got y equals, I'm going to use this equation right here. 4/5 x plus, I'm sorry, it's minus 2. If I asked you what the letter m was in this equation, what would the letter m be? Notice how the letter m is in front of the x. So transferring that, you look in front of the x here, what number is in front of the x? There, Grace. 4/5. What is the letter b in this equation? Now here you have to be a little careful. What is it, Keith? It is a -2. Because b is positive here. If you want, whatever this is, if it's positive or negative, that's what your letter b is. Let's do another one, just because I think you're catching on. y equals, let's just say, 3x plus 7. If I asked you what the letter m is, the letter m in that equation would be, if it's indeed in slope-intercept form. Cameron? Look at this. Are you sure you're just 7th graders? Should you maybe not be in 8th grade or even well above that? And the letter b would be what? Isabel? 7. How about that? Have we done anything? No. But here is, this is going to make your life so much easier. Okay? The reason this is called slope-intercept is because when you're given this equation, through it you can find both the slope of the line and maybe you can guess what intercept means. Does anybody know? I'd actually, if you want to tuck a little y in there, that would be wonderful. Sometimes it's called slope y-intercept. What does the word intercept mean? You know, some crazy people fly jets at the Capitol building. We are going to send our own jets to intercept them. Intercept means not necessarily crash, but it's kind of. What would you say?
Capture.
Not necessarily capture, but
Cut them off.
cut them off. That's where they would meet. Intercept is the point. Slope y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, where it crosses the y-axis. Now knowing that, here's where our deductive leap is. Jaden, follow with me here. The letter m is the slope of the line. The letter b is what we call the y-intercept, which doesn't seem to write very well, or where it crosses the y-axis. To which you may say, so what? Somebody say that.
So
Well,
what?
let's look at what that means. I need a new page. I need something fresh here. So I was just, I'm going to go back and write my stuff down here. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to write down that y equals what? It was 4/5 x minus 2. Okay, I'm going to write down, okay, my m was 4/5 and my b was -2, right? We're all on the same page here. Well, when you did that problem on your math homework, those of you that were good students, I'm sure some of you maybe cut some corners or not. When you graphed that, how did you do it? Well, I'm guessing you had to make a table of x and y values, and you had to plot those points, yes or no? And you probably picked what? 0 was 1, obviously, because 0 times x is 0, 0 minus 2 is, somebody? 0 minus 2? 0 minus 2? -2. What other numbers would you pick for this, if you had this equation? Cameron, thank you very much. Cameron says 5. Why would he pick 5? Because if you take 4/5 and multiply it by 5, the 5's cross off and you're left with 4 minus 2, which is 2. Another number you might pick? I wouldn't pick 7. I wouldn't pick 6. I'd pick something that would cross off with a 5.
15.
Alright, well let's go 10 because I want to do 15 numbers out there. So I do 10. 4/5 times 10. This crosses off with that, you get 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And 8 minus 2 is 6. And then once you got those points, you plotted them, right? 0, -2. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. And you did 10, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you ended up with your line, probably better than mine because you used a ruler, yes? Well, children, your life is about to be changed for the good. When you are given an equation in slope-intercept form, which this is, and you know the slope and you know the y-intercept, you don't need to do this. Okay? Why? Because you're given enough information right here to make that same line. Now write this down, because the first step you will do, step number 1, is put a point on the y-axis that is the y-intercept, which just so happens to be the letter B. So if I were given this equation and I wanted to graph it, I find what my letter B is, which is the y-intercept, which is -2, and I come over to my graph, and there at -2 on the y-axis, I put a point. Look, it's on my, that's going to be right on my line. That's my starting point. And then step number 2 is use your slope to plot more points from the y-intercept. Now I'll let you write that down and we'll talk about that. Because that's where people get a little bit confused, but it's not so bad. We've talked about some of this, or most of this already. Okay, I've got my starting point. I know that this line has a slope of 4/5. Well, what does that mean? What does a slope of 4/5 mean? The top number is how far up it goes, and the bottom number is how far over it goes. So starting from that point, I am going to go up 4 and over 5. Up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4, up 5, and then I'm sorry, up 4 and over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there was a second point. Same 2 points I had here. I could also go from here. I could go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also, because it doesn't have to be up, it could be down, I could go down 4 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my line keeps going there. Once you know the slope and you know the y-intercept, graphing a line is a piece of cake. Now the one thing you have to be careful with is this, okay? Why didn't I go up 4 and over 5 this way? Because that is also up 4 over 5. Why doesn't and why can't and why shan't I do that? Mr. Fisher? Right, because when I would connect these 2 points, that would be a negative 4/5 slope. Because remember, if the line goes downhill, it's negative slope. If it goes uphill, it is positive slope. Okay? So you have to, that's the one thing you have to be careful with. Watch how easy graphing lines are. Let's say you've got y equals -1/2 x minus 4. It's just this easy. Follow the steps as we have them. Follow the steps as we have them. Step number 1 is to do what? Put a point at the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? Laney Kavarik? -4. So on my y-axis I go -1, -2, -3, -4. I know that is 1 point on my line. Okay. Step number 2 is I take my slope, which is whatever number is in front of the x, and I just use it to climb up and over. What am I going to do? And here's where you got some choices. I'm going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, or up 1 over 2. Here's where you have to make a huge decision. Which of those 2 dots is it going to be? Is my line going to go this way, or is my line going to go that way? Is it uphill slope or downhill slope? Positive slope or negative slope? It is negative, so you're going downhill, so it has to be this point. Okay, and you can still go down 1 over 2. From this point, up 1 over 2. You can plot as many points as you want. You are going to get this line just like that. Now, is that not much easier and quicker than making a table and putting a whole bunch of values and doing all that? So here, sketch me this one. What if I said y equals, what if it was just 3x plus 2? What do I do with that 3 since it's not a fraction? Colquitt thinks it puts it over 1. Is that what we're going to do? Yeah. Just make it a fraction by putting over 1. Sketch me quickly the graph of that on your paper. Let's see if you can get it just quickly here. Put a point at the y-intercept and then just use the slope to go from that y-intercept. Please don't go from the origin. I see people do that all the time. Okay? Your slope does not go through the origin unless your y-intercept is 0. Okay? You have to start at that point. Up and over. Or down and over. It doesn't really matter. Up or down and over. Backwards or forward. What is the slope-intercept form of a linear equation? Y equals mx plus b. Keep telling yourself that. So, here we go. Let's see if you got it here. First thing you should have done was said, okay, it crosses the y-axis at positive 2. Raise your hand if you got that. Okay, and then from that point, don't go back to the origin because you'll get the wrong answer. You need a slope of 3 or 3 over 1. You can go up or down, it doesn't matter. Up 3, 1, 2, 3. It's either going to go over 1 that way or over 1 that way. Which dot is going to give you a positive slope would have to be this one. And you can go down 3, down 1, down 2, down 3 over 1. You're still going to get this same.
What happens if you do go from the origin and going different?
It will be very wrong. It won't be the same line. It won't be the graph of this line. Maybe something else. How about one more? Let's do a hard one. Let's do a tricky one. Y equals negative 7/8 x, I don't know, plus 8. Negative 7/8 x plus 8. You got it? Shouldn't be any harder actually than the last one. What is the y-intercept? What is the letter B? Aubrey Alton Burnt. Is that a question or an answer? 8, positive 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not my best. And then from there, what am I going to do? Manny Marco, from that point, I'm going to do what now? What's that? Say it louder, because I can't hear the music in the gym. What do I do from that point? Translate. 7 down, 8 over. Perfect. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and either 8 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over this way, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over that way. Which one shall it be? Manny Marco. Dot on the left, dot on the right. Which one is negative slope? Keith, translate.
I don't know. It's left.
She said left. Unfortunately, if you said left, that's positive slope because it's going uphill. It would have to be one on the right. And if Keith can't hear you, I can guarantee you I can't hear you. Okay. Now, the only exceptions to this are these. Please write this down in your notes here. Okay. The only exceptions are these: when you have x equals a number, and when you have y equals a number. Okay, those are still linear equations, and you could kind of call them both in slope-intercept form, but this is the deal. What is the graph of x equals 3? What is the graph of x equals 3? The gist of that is no matter what y is, x is always going to be 3. So where is x 3? 1, 2, 3. It is always 3. The graph of x equals 3 is, you might want to write this down, if it's an x equal, it is a vertical line, okay? And I think we talked about this before, maybe we didn't. Vertical lines have, what's all this? Vertical lines, lines that go straight up and down, have what we call undefined slope. We'll talk more about that later, but just write that down. Vertical lines, which are x-equal lines, have undefined slope. If it is y equals 2, just like with the x, it doesn't matter what x is, y is always 2. Where's y 2? Y is 2 here. So y is always 2 no matter what x is. You get a horizontal line, and horizontal lines always have a slope of 0. 0 slope, just know that. Horizontal lines have 0 slope, vertical lines have what we call undefined slope. It doesn't really make sense to us right now. So make sure you have that in your notes because you will come across, they'll give you a linear equation like, okay, y equals -2. You'll look in your notes and you'll say, y equals -2, what's that mean? Well, it's a horizontal line where y is -2. It's the graph of
So
y
it's just
equals
one
-2.
number, if it's just one?
Yes.
Oh.
If it was x equals -2, then it's a vertical line at -2 on the x-axis.
So there would be no y then, like say if it was just a problem, it's just saying find x.
It won't, they'll just say graph x equals -2, they won't say find x.
Okay.
Because you've already found that there's no choices there.
Okay.
No choices there at all. Oh, yeah. And then take out another piece of paper. I forgot there's one more thing. Not only do you have to be able to draw the graph from the equation, they are also going to give you the line, and you have to write the equation. It's really not that hard, you just need to do the same thing we just did, except backwards. Think about what's the generic form, y equals mx plus b. First thing I would do is find what's my y-intercept, because that's the number that's going to go from b. Where does that cross the y-axis on my line here? What is that point? Somebody help me, please. Elijah? Well, but you just want the y. You don't want the 0. It's just -1 where it crosses the y-axis. And then here's your tough job. You have to figure out what the slope is based on that thing that gives you. And we've done that before. What is the slope of this line? How far up does it go? To the next point? Up to over 1. So what's its slope? Well, your choice is either +2 or -2. Which one is it? Going uphill, so it's +2. So the equation of this line is y equals 2x minus 1. And you'll be able to figure that out, I hope, at some point in your life. Alright, what I'd like for you to give a whirl at here, just a second.